All right, broadcast is started.
So do we roll like all through? So I got my capability, my focus, and my purpose. Do we just keep going, like, and nights and night pairs, or?
Oh no, so that's if those are all like potential like themes that you could work with. But like if you wanted to do it like randomly, but technically any single word could be your capability. Any single word can be your focus, and any single word or combination, like couple of words, can outline your purpose. So I'm sorry, what?
You make those up.
Yeah, you can totally make them up.
I'll just be a wide-eyed farm boy who takes the form of animals.
Okay.
I was wondering how long I could keep that up. Okay.
Okay, so we got a wide-eyed farm boy who takes the form of animals.
Howdy, y'all.
So wide-eyed farm boy, what's your name?
Clarence. Just the other day, I was raking up the leaves, and all of a sudden, I turned into a muskrat. I didn't know what to do. My daddy called me in to eat my supper, but then he tried to shoot me when he saw a muskrat coming in the door.
Surprise, you're an animorph.
It was the biggest surprise I ever did see.
All right, Dustin, who are you going to be?
Your mom.
Oh, your mom.
I heard that from here.
They heard that.
And my line is gregarious Gary gazes gladly. And I'm capable of smiling fondly. Focus on gazing, and my purpose is pleasure.
Okay.
Gary is just a happy guy who seeks pleasure.
Yep. Gary does like to gaze.
And then Peter, who will you be playing tonight?
I'm Wallace Jones, independent investigator. I have been called onto the scene by a particular farmer who wants to know why his son has turned into a muskrat.
Wallace.
All right.
Once. He was a very nice fellow.
So the story begins. You guys live in a nice small town, kind of on the edge of being not quite a city, not quite a hovel, somewhere in between. There are outskirts where, somebody like Clarence and his family might, skirt on the borders, farmland and such. One day, there is a strange song that goes throughout the town, can be heard by everyone. And as this song plays, all of the children start to dance. And they dance, and they all congregate to the central fountain. Of course.
Where else would the tiger go?
So when they congregate at the fountain, they jump in, but then they disappear in the waters. All the adults are freaking out. All the parents, all everybody else in the town. And then suddenly there's a burst of flame above this fountain. And it's this Weasley little man in a kind of Sherlock Holmes cap. But it's bright, bright, bright pink. And he kind of pulls Wizard of Oz type deal with his giant head floating in this flame, and in a very Weasley voice goes, I have your children now, and they are mine, and I am going to feed on them tonight as I bake my pies. And then he vanishes. Obviously, this is kind of a big deal, and so you guys somehow find yourselves in a position to do something about this.
Cheep, 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 cheep.
That song is most disturbing. We must take it off the airwaves immediately.
And if you guys wanted to know the images that I rolled to set this up, you can't really see that, can you? It's a fountain, the Riddler, and someone wearing headphones.
All right.
So we're in the circle square area, or like the center. All the townsfolk are gathered.
Yeah, and all of them are freaking out. You can hear parents begin to wail and cry, calling out for their children. Some of the adults have tried to jump into the fountain after them, but after the children all jumped through, whatever magic was affecting the town stopped because people are just standing in the fountains. The fountain is only like 3 feet deep. And so, but all these children disappeared through it as if through a portal.
I'm just looking around. Gary is, despite the circumstances, he's in a relatively good mood. The commotion is interesting. And he asks, Gary asks the lady nearest him, what an interesting head. Who that is?
I don't know. I've never seen him before. But he's got my baby, and he's going to turn him into a pie. Oh, my God.
Clarence turns back into a human somehow. Well, gee willikers, Mr. Reporter, I believe we should go help them. I think I could use my powers for good. I'm just a wide-eyed farm boy. I don't know your name, Mr. Reporter. I forgot it. My little muskrat brain couldn't remember. What was your name again, Mr. Reporter? Mr. Investigator?
Oh, yes, that's me. Yes. Wallace Jones.
Oh, Mr. Jones. Got it. Okay, Mr. Jones, can we maybe you could follow me and you could document my exploits as I heroically save all the children.
Yes, I could do that. I'll write that down.
Okay. And who's that gregarious looking fellow over there?
I'm not sure. Is he part of what has occurred here?
He looks awful suspicious. He looks pretty happy, given what just occurred, with the giant head and all the freaking out with the children. but he's looking pretty happy. I think we should talk to him. He might know something. My muskrat senses are tingling.
Well, keep the tingling to yourself, muskrat.
Meet you.
Do you know anything about the giant head and the missing children, Mr. What can I even call you, Mr. Smiley?
I'm Gary.
Mr. Gary.
I was going to ask you a question. Do you know
You were going to ask me?
that head is most peculiar? It's
Gary,
probably,
have you ever changed into a snail?
I can't answer that question right, Meow.
Very good, Meow. I will take it down.
I'm the boy with the powers. Why are you asking him about changing into muskrats and snails and all the whatnot?
I have to find out if this is the trend.
Oh, I see. You really are a top-notch investigator. Wow, mister.
And
I'll leave all the smarts to you.
And who might you be, investigator person?
Wallace Jones.
Jones. Wallace. I knew a Wallace once. He was a nice fella. Are you a
Well, I'm
nice
not, so don't worry about it.
You know,
I walk over to the water fountain and hunch down next to it and then reach my finger in and touch the water. Is it wet?
It is most certainly wet.
Yes. Very good. I'll make a note of it.
You also notice a handprint on the fountain that seems to glow with a faint pink energy.
Let's see. Is the handprint the size of maybe an adolescent?
It is not. It is more the size of a man who might complain about having small hands.
Gary walks over to the fountain. He sees Wallace touching it, and he remarks, "Good idea." And then he goes and dips both hands in and washes his face, gives a good scrub behind the ears. Good thinking, Wallace. I'm feeling quite dirty.
When you do that, you actually you wash your hand. You're washing yourself, and you notice that not only is water falling from your hands and everything, but you've managed to pick up some small fish, and the fish are actually, and so you pull away and you're like, oh, there's fish flopping in this water, and there's not supposed to be fish in this fountain, but there are fish, and they begin swirling around the water, and as they swirl, they begin to create a kind of vortex, and then the vortex begins to glow pink. And then you hear a voice say, "By the way, here's a parting gift." And a number of dinosaurs jump out of the fountain and start ripping into people, causing chaos and mayhem.
I'll make a
What's
note
in
of it.
your house?
Watch out, Mr. Wallace. How are you going to write my story if you're dead?
I'll be fine. I'll be fine, son. Don't worry.
Where's the nearest house? And is there any structures that look like they're in a potential state to even withstand a dinosaur attack?
Yeah, I mean, these dinosaurs are not like T-Rexes. They're more like large velociraptors, because real velociraptors were the size of chickens. These are more like the size of large wolves, and they're the two-legged kind that have the claws and the biting and everything. But there are a number of houses, probably within a 100 feet or so, that you could probably get to try to escape the dinosaurs.
Okay. I reach into my pocket and pull out, looks like Banaka or something like that, and spray Clarence and Gary off. I spray both of them. Lucky today I brought my dinosaur repellent. You should be fine. Keeps your breath fresh too.
Thank you, Wallace. And I just fondly.
Wallace, give me a D6 roll.
Okay. 2.
All right, so the repellent that you were so confident in doesn't work. The dinosaurs, 2 of them are eyeing the group of you hungrily.
That's what happens when you buy shit off the clearance rack. God damn it.
Don't worry,
And so-
Mr. Wallace. I'll take care of this. And Clarence attempts to transform into a rhinoceros.
Okay, give me a D6. Actually, give me 2 D6 rolls, because yeah.
I rolled a 4 and a 5.
Oh, perfect. So you can choose which one you use. A 4 is normally a success, but so that means you generally succeed in what you're doing, but something else goes wrong. A 5 is a pure success. If you do the lower roll, then you get essentially an action point later on that you can use to re-roll something.
We'll go for the success, but it'll make it more interesting anyway.
Okay. Go ahead and describe how your transformation fails. Succeeds, but also fails.
Okay. Clarence gets down on all fours. Now watch this, fellers. And he starts like growing. And you guys are both amazed at what's happening. His clothes start ripping. But he only gets to be like half the size of a rhinoceros. But he's way bigger than he was before, but he's only half the size of a rhinoceros, and he has a tiny horn. So he's just a pathetic rhinoceros.
So the dinosaurs look at you a bit more cautiously than they did before. Suddenly, the prey that they thought was going to be easy has grown a little bit more complicated, but they still look like they look fairly intelligent in their eyes. They're not just blindly leaping at you to tear into you. They're kind of studying you, and you can see them stalking you, working in tandem together to make sure that at all times both of them are kind of following your movements, but also keeping the other one in their gaze, as well as kind of making sure that no one else is posing any kind of threat, because all around you people are crying out, screaming, blood is spurting everywhere, dinosaurs chopping into people's throats, tearing into clothes and limbs. The center of the town, around the fountain, much of the area has cleared because people have either successfully run into these buildings to seek safety, or those that have not been so fortunate have taken the attention of the dinosaurs as meals.
Gary looks at this little triceratops or not rhinoceros fondly. Wow, that
Perfect.
is. You know, I like you. I like you a lot.
I just make rhinoceros noises.
I should help out. And I reach out and pull out my cell phone. I call my posse.
You call your posse?
Yeah, I call my posse and I ask them, come to the fountain as soon as you can. Bring
What
your
you got
guns.
going on, homie?
Bring your.
I have a dinosaur problem. And
Dinosaurs? Oh, we coming right now.
good.
And then
I hang up.
instantly there are beams of light that crash into the ground around you, and strange looking machines rise up, and it's people in like this exo armor, and one of them lifts their visor up, and it's a dude wearing sunglasses and saying, "What up, man? These are dinosaurs you talking about?"
They are. I see you're packing heat.
You know we don't roll without it.
I know. Would
Gary.
you be so kindly help me out here?
Gary, who are these individuals?
This is my posse. And as my posse,
I'm not aware of any posse. What is this?
Yeah, man, we crew.
You look
they
like
like Jake.
cosmonauts. Are they Russians?
They're cosmonauts who like Jake.
Yeah, man, we ain't down with the Trump. All right, let's get them, boys. And then they start blasting away at the dinosaurs, but have the aim of stormtroopers.
I'm gazing fondly upon my work.
Give me a d6 roll.
Oh, a 4.
All right, so you successfully gaze upon their work, but something goes wrong while you're gazing.
I got pink eye.
So one of these guys blasts one of the dinosaurs, and their bowels erupt right in your face, giving you pink eye.
Dang. That's the most common cause of pink eye. I should have known. Now I can only gaze fondly with one eye.
So as I'm watching the Ruskies shoot their laser guns at dinosaurs, I definitely make a note of this. And I pull out my trusted .45 and I shoot at one of the dinosaurs.
Oh, wow. Is that a deagle? I saw one once before, but it wasn't as nice as that one.
All right, give me a d6. Give me 2d6.
A 6 and a 5.
Perfect. So you get to choose which one you use. If you choose the lower one, you get an action point. So 5 is just a straight up success. 6 is success and something else good happens.
Okay, so if I choose a 5, I get an action point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I'll take the 5. So I shoot one of the dinosaurs right between the eyes. It drops dead to the ground.
Okay.
I didn't know what hit him.
So one of the dudes lifts up their visors, looking at you, whistling. It's like, "Damn, dude, you a good shot."
I got my eye on you, Rusky.
Walnut, do you
Are there-
want to join my posse?
They're spies.
Are there any dinosaurs left?
I mean, there's some that are still eating people, but the ones that have been looking at you guys, they're all dead.
Okay, then Clarence transforms back into a human. His his rhino form wears off, and he's left naked except for a tiny like loincloth around his privates. Just like the Hulk. He loses all his clothes except for his shorts. That's what Clarence is like. Oh shucks, y'all killed them all. I didn't even get to do anything.
I like your loincloth.
Loincloth? These are just my britches. You sure are weird, Mr. Gary.
Yeah, I just gained fondly at him.
What's wrong with your eye?
From the most common form of pink eye. Explosive diarrhea.
Oh, is that what stinks?
Yes. Besides my posse's aim, which hasn't been too good.
So, Gary, you have pink eye.
Yeah. Do you
Good,
have
keep it a
any-
safe distance from me. You probably
you
got
were
it from
making a
that
note of
magic box you were talking to.
You're not going to make a note of it?
Of course, I already have.
because of the Gary's not able to hear as well because of all the gunshots. Closer to Wallace. What did you say?
Yes, and I move away. You're contaminated. You probably got it from that magic box.
Ooh, magic! I've always been fascinated by magic. I reckon nothing magical's ever happened to me.
I'm so close to retirement. I can taste it.
That's the diarrhea.
So you guys are having this conversation around people getting eaten by dinosaurs, while other
I've
people
made
are
a note of
looking
it.
from
That's
their
fine.
windows, like staring at you guys, like, "What?" By the way, your posse, they're like, "All right, dog, we done. Peace out," and they fly away.
Just as quick as they came, so they leave.
That's what she said.
So I go to where they vanished from and check the area for anything they left behind.
Yeah, there is this strange metal contraption that you don't really recognize, but they're handcuffs.
Hmm. I will take them. Does it have any Russian writing on it?
Absolutely.
Just as I thought.
Are there
I handle it carefully. I do not want to get pink eye.
any dead dinosaurs nearby?
Yeah, there. You have your choice: the one that exploded its bowels all over you, or the one that got its brains blown out.
I'll have the one that got his brains blown out.
Okay.
I reach the ground and I look for a knife and hopefully I find one. And I want to cut the head off the dinosaur.
All right. Give me a D6 roll.
That's a 1, baby.
All right, so not only do you fail to cut the dinosaur's head off, but something else bad happens.
Of my own device.
What's that? Yeah, you go for it. Tell me what else bad happens. Tell me what happens as what's your name? Gary?
Gary.
Yeah, tell me what happens as Gary tries to cut off this dinosaur head.
As Gary tries to cut off the dinosaur head, the dinosaur wasn't really past the afterlife yet, so now this dinosaur's ghost is haunting him.
Perfect.
Yeah. This is me. And now I, Thrax, will ever be in your shadow.
Can we see the ghost?
I'll leave that to you.
You can hear it, but you can't see it.
This
But
ghost,
Gary can see it.
is two. It's on my shoulder all the time.
Well, I don't know what y'all fellers are doing, but I'm gonna be a hero. So I gotta save those children. So what I'm gonna do, I reckon it has to do with the fish in the fountain. I'm gonna turn into a fish and jump into the fountain. That way I can create a whirlpool, and then I can summon Mr. Magic Head. So Clarence attempts to turn into a fish.
All right, you succeed on turning into the fish, but give me a d6 roll for what happens when you try to create the whirlpool.
Okay. I rolled a 2.
All right, you got an action point if you want to use it.
All right, sure, I'll use it. Ooh, I rolled a 5.
All right. You managed to do what you set out to do. Go ahead and describe what happens.
Clarence takes off his breeches and what remains of them. So now he's butt-ass naked. His little dongle is just in the wind like this, and he like puts his hands together like this, and then he dives into the fountain. And as he's diving, he starts to shrink, and he turns into like a goldfish. And then he just starts. You guys see him in there. He's the only goldfish. I don't know what the other fish are. They're just like trout or something. And,
yeah, much bigger than he is.
Yeah, they look at him hungrily, but then he slaps him around with his tail, and he's doing like fish communication. And then they all start following him, and he starts creating this whirlpool. And the pink energy start coming? Does it work?
It does. It does.
All right. So then the fountain starts to glow all pink, and then I'll leave it up to you. What happens next?
Well, you know, the pink glowingness is there, which to you guys signals that the portal is coming. But then in the distance, off in the horizon, you see something come through the clouds. It's a giant dirigible, a zeppelin, and although it's pretty far away, you can see somebody that looks like a pirate kind of standing on the bow, like surveying, and then he like kind of points towards the fountain, and he begins this zeppelin begins launching barrels. And when the barrels strike, they explode. And so now the dinosaurs are like, what? Fuck this shit. And they're all running. Everybody that they were eating is dead.
Okay, I'm sorry. Oh God.
So that was Clarence, everybody.
Yeah, that's Clarence. Oh Jesus! All right, I'm sorry. So he's shooting barrels at us now.
Yeah, barrels that explode with fire.
And the dinosaur said, "Fuck this," and left. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
My brethren, they're leaving. I'm just gazing at them fondly. Wow. And look at that thing.
So,
Clarence.
so as the all this starts happening, the trout start getting annoyed with Clarence the goldfish, and they start to lead a coup against him and try to eat him. And so Clarence decides now's a good time to get out of the fountain. So he flops out and he's just on the ground. And then he's like, can't breathe. Just flopping there. And then all of a sudden he turns back into Clarence and he's like, oh.
Roll a d6.
Okay. Rolled a 2. I don't have any action.
So
Okay,
tell me what goes wrong with that transformation.
Clarence transforms back. He's got human feet but a fish head, so he can't breathe.
He's still got the eyes, the googly
Yeah,
eyes.
he's still got this giant eyes, just like someone's got to help him. Dump him into the fountain or something, or don't. I don't care.
So Gary sees this, says, "Don't worry, Clarence. I'm going to help you." And he football tackles Clarence back into the fountain.
And with a few more moments of breath that Clarence has, he's able to transform his lungs back, but he still has his fish body. Or the fish head.
Well, now I'm drowning in the fountain then.
Don't worry.
I come back out of the fountain. I'm like, it's just like legs and a fish head and arms, and I'm just like, I can't talk. I'm just like, just giant, those giant eyes, the bubbly eyes, and I'm just like doing the fish thing.
Don't.
Well, Clarence, you're a regular Don Knotts. I'm impressed.
I'm sure Wallace is taking copious notes.
Yes.
I stand in the pool and I see the trout around me, and I'm looking at them pleasurably. And
actually, as you're standing in that pool, that pink energy is still there, and after a moment, you just fall in and disappear.
Raise my hands in such a manner, so all in a controlled fashion. So it just looks like I'm sinking.
Do you do the T800?
As I'm going down, I do, yeah. Ooh, save us! Stop it.
I get out my caution tape that I carry with me and proceed to put caution tape around the fountain. Stay away from this fountain. Somebody just fell in here, has pink eye, and you will get it.
And as you're doing that, a barrel explodes like 20 feet away from you.
Okay, I take cover.
and then you notice that guy in the Zeppelin is still coming with the pirate dude.
Clarence like waves his arms at Wallace, and he's just like, and then he just jumps in the fountain and goes after Gary.
Well, Wallace sits on the fountain and proceeds to take off his shoes and
As
then his socks.
as fiery barrels explode all around him.
Yes. Rolls up
with half-eaten bodies from the dinosaurs.
Rolls up his slacks. And to much dismay, enters the pool.
I believe I saw that Mr. once.
Do I go through?
Yes. As you guys go through, you see it's total darkness, but then suddenly within this darkness that you're falling through, several lights seem to flash on. And you see that these lights appear to be eyes because some of them are blinking, and you're kind of falling down this tunnel that is full of eyes, eventually hitting the ground, and then, but as you hit the ground, you realize that you wake up and you're all in bed. You're in a giant bed that's just like the three of you were like sleeping in this bed, and now you've woken up.
I know it. I know you two were damn hippies. There's some kind of love-in. I immediately get out of the bed.
I just gaze at him fondly. Like I don't.
We're saved now. I hear the police coming.
So yeah, you are in this like giant room, giant house. Like you're a full-grown person, but everything is like the size as if you were like a 3-year-old.
Oh.
I blame it on the fluoride in the water.
Okay, Clarence sits up and he attempts to turn back into a human again. This time he slaps himself in the fish head to try and like smack it away. Should I roll?
No need to roll. I imagine it kind of looks like. Have you seen Army of Darkness?
Yes.
That part after Bruce Campbell gets his face sucked into the book, and he's just like.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I was picturing.
So you're able to do that, and when Wallace hops out of bed, something actually grabs his foot from under the bed.
Do we see this, or we?
No, you guys are still in the bed.
All right.
It's pretty nice in here.
Is this a sensual touch or what is it?
It's like something grabs your foot to get attention. It's not like trying to trip you or pull you in.
Okay, I look down at the hand. Is it a hand?
Yes. And attached to that hand is a little boy hiding under the bed. And he looks at you and he says, "Shh, you might wake him."
Wake who? Who are you talking about?
Shh, don't wake him.
Who's this person?
Suddenly
You've been
you
drinking the
hear.
water too. There's fluoride in it. Stay away.
Suddenly the ground begins to shake, and you hear a boom, 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 and then he's like, "Oh no, you stupid bitch!" And he hides in the bed. And then a massive giant pops into the room, carrying these large boxes, and drops them on the floor. And you can see him like kind of huffing and puffing. And he looks around and he sees you guys. He's like, "Ooh, breakfast."
I knew the East Germans were roiding.
So the guy begins grabbing for. It doesn't see Wallace because he's on the other side of the bed, kind of hidden. But it sees Gary and Clarence.
Clarence is like, "Gee willikers, I'm getting out of here." Tries to turn into a mouse.
Give me a roll.
I rolled a 5.
All right, you turn into a mouse.
So I'm tiny now. And I like scurry off the bed.
So you pull the same trick the little boy from the witches did,
Oh.
turning into a mouse and running through the covers, leaving gregarious Gary with this giant reaching for him.
Well, I'm pretty gregarious. So I respond to the giant. I don't believe I've eaten breakfast. Would you like to dine together? Do you like pancakes?
Give me a roll. Go ahead and roll 2d6.
Got 6. 1.
6 and a what?
Got a 5 and a 1, so 6 total.
Oh, so you get to choose the 5 or the 1. If you choose the 1, you get an action point. One is you fail and something else bad happens. 5 is a straight success.
Success in this round here.
What'd you say?
I'm going with the success. So, would you like to eat breakfast together?
You have pancakes?
I
love pancakes.
been known to make a mean flapjack or two.
Oh, flapjacks. Do you have maple syrup?
Well, I don't have maple syrup. The sugar-free substitute. Gotta watch my intake.
Sugar-free? And he pounds and just destroys the bed. And you hear a cry from under the bed. And the giant is going into a bit of a rampage.
Buddy, I don't like sugar-free just as much as anybody else, but that's any reason to destroy your furniture, unless this is perhaps somebody else's furniture here.
Roll a 2d6.
I got a 5 and a 2.
All right, so because he was angry, that's why I had you roll 2. You're getting the worst one. So he just continues raging, and actually he sees this giant chalice on the side of the bed, and he's like, "Oh yeah, my change drink!" And he grabs it, and he chugs it, and you can see this like neon liquid kind of dripping from the sides of his mouth. And then he throws it. He's like, "Oh yeah, now you gonna really get it." And so
I'm
now
gazing at him.
he changes. He begins glowing green. His ears become bat ears, and then he goes, "Ah!" and he just projectile vomits at you, just narrowly missing you, and the spot where you were before is now melting.
I projectile vomit back at him.
Do you catch his projectile vomit and return it?
That is pretty awesome, but I'm gonna have to save that for another time.
All right, so you projectile vomit back at him. Give me a D6.
It's supersonic projectile vomit. Oh well, that's a 6.
Okay. So that's a success, and something else happens. So go ahead and describe your good fortune.
The projectile, his vomit misses, burns a hole, and is melting the bedding beside. The smell makes me lurch, and I projectile vomit. Gary projectile vomits back at him. It comes out at light speed. Hits him in the forehead, much like David and Goliath. This felled Goliath in the worst possible way.
So I'm just gonna say if something with mass hit him in the forehead with light speed, that's gonna create like a nuclear blast that would destroy the world.
Reduced the speed of sound for
Okay. So still, basically, his head, where his head used to be, is now just a fine blood mist.
Yes, with a slight odor of vomit.
Yes.
Wow, that was cool. I bet I can't do that again. And I try to puke and do it a second time, but all I do is just dry heave on the bed next to me.
Gary all of a sudden feels something under his clothing, and this little mouse comes out from under his shirt and onto his shoulder. I never left you, buddy.
Oh wow! I didn't know hamsters could talk. I wish I knew that earlier.
No, I didn't talk. I just come up and you just hear like.
Oh.
So I look at
Wallace doing all this.
Yeah, he's obviously making a note of it, and then definitely staying away from Gary because the pink eye has reached a certain level he is not familiar with. I reach under the bed and grab the child by the scruff.
So the child has a broken leg with a compound fracture. His shin
That's
is
good. Suck it
poking
up,
through.
kid. You'll be fine. I had to walk uphill both sides, both ways in the snow. Bill's character.
It hurts, mister. It hurts.
Yeah,
And this
yeah, I'll
is your
hurt a lot
fault.
more when I
This
kick
is
your
all
ass.
your fault for getting him. You made him awake. You made him awake.
Shut up. Listen, look at this. You see this creature here? He's missing a head. You know what that means? Stay away from drugs. And I drop him on the ground.
Okay, I'll stay away from drugs.
Clarence hears all the crying, commotion, and scurries over to Wallace and the kid. And his little mouse form sees the broken leg, and he thinks internally, I know just what to do. And he just like goes like underneath the kid, but being careful not to get crushed. And then he tries to transform into a pony to like give the kid a lift.
Give me a D6 roll.
I rolled a 1.
All right, so you don't succeed, and so you fail, and something else goes wrong. So go ahead and describe it.
Okay. I don't know if you're gonna allow me to do this.
Oh, it's you got free reign.
Instead of a pony, Clarence transforms into an elephant and ends up rolling and crushing the kid.
Yeah, that kid's dead. He's just a stain on the floor now. A person
I'll make a
shade
note of it.
stain.
You sicken me, Clarence. Shouldn't say that.
It's all coming together now. I'm figuring it out. The Ruskies, the East German. There's chemtrails in the air. That's why I'm having hallucinations. It's giving you pink eye.
Elephant
It
Clarence looks sad.
It is said that elephants will mourn for days. Would you like flapjacks to ease the mourning? I'm going to take that as a no. Jacks are off the table. Unless we lost you, Clarence. Wallace. Are you there, Wallace?
I'm here. What do you want, pink eye?
Can you take a picture of me?
A picture of you.
Yes. I feel like this is deserving of a written record.
Sure, I'll get my camera. Take a picture.
I take off my shirt and I lay down.
Okay.
All
I'm
right,
glad
so
I
now
didn't hear
there's,
any of that. I tuned you out.
Great. These
So is there now a photo shoot going on with an elephant and a bloodstained former person?
yes.
I'll get you these back. Just give me your address. I'll mail them to you once they're developed in my dark room.
My address is 1 Rock Hill Way.
I'll make a note of it.
Great. I hope that these turn out well. Make the front cover of Esquire, you know.
Oh, it's my advice, kid. Never show these pictures to anyone.
Ah,
I'm going to need a strong drink just to forget what I just took.
public knows what it's want. Yeah, that's right. They know what they want. They want
That kid,
me.
I feel fortunate for that kid. He never saw this. He's lucky.
Dustin, you ever see the movie UHF?
Yep.
You remind me of the carpenter.
Who do you think is the inspiration for this character?
Yes. All right, so you guys, beyond the doorway where the giant came in, you see in the distance a gem hanging from another door, and it's glistening and catching your eye. Seems very valuable. Just a sort of thing that's sitting there out in the open, unguarded.
Clarence is very distracted by shiny things, and he forgets all about the murder he just committed. And
Of course.
an elephant, they say an elephant never forgets, but a wide-eyed farm boy who transforms into elephants definitely forgets. And he walks over in elephant form and reaches up for it with his trunk.
So as you touch it, you transform again, but this time you turn into like a person-sized mantis shrimp.
Person-sized mantis shrimp?
Yes,
Mantis shrimps are like badass, right?
they are pretty badass.
I've never heard of a mantis shrimp.
Their punches are so fast
Mhm.
that they leave cavitation bubbles that create even greater force. That you can't keep them in normal aquariums because they will break the glass, even when it's like really super thick glass. Like you have to have them in special places
So they
because
They cause-
their punches.
They cause small implosions of heat, light, and sound in the water.
Yeah. Like cavitation bubbles when they come into existence and when they burst out of existence, they're momentarily as hot as the surface of the sun.
Yep. They're 50 times faster than the blink of a human eye.
the mantis or the bubbles?
The punch.
Yeah, the force of the punch.
Man, I feel like my life has been incomplete up until this point. I didn't even know they existed.
Watch a 5-minute YouTube video on them. They're pretty badass.
Yeah.
So I searched this room. I'm looking for any evidence of who this East German was. Particularly, their name was probably Gertrude.
So you find an ornate box decorated in Chinese characters.
Gosh, the Chi-Coms are involved too. I knew it.
And within the box is a miniature vehicle that can best be described as the Batmobile.
I knew it.
Miniature vehicle, as in it won't fit all of us?
No.
So I show the box to the group and the car. I knew it. I knew Gertrude was hiding something. The Chi-Coms are behind Batman. I knew it.
Who is Gertrude?
That East German swimmer you just killed.
Oh, I didn't know anybody.
Mantis shrimp Clarence just like chitters. And let's pause on this.
So down the hall, you can hear, "Help! Help! Help us! Help us, please!"
Help yourself.
Mantis shrimp Clarence goes towards the noise. He's got to be a hero.
So as you're going down the hall, you notice that the hallway is covered in potato chips that crunch under your multiple feet.
A salty surprise. It's the worst kind of surprise.
Are
Yeah,
they
so-
plain chips?
What's that, Peter?
Are they plain?
No, they're ranch.
Not touching the damn things.
But as you turn the corner, you see a number of children bound and gagged. One of them has managed to get the gag off their face and start crying for help.
And I gaze at them fondly. Sit there.
I walk back into the room. I find some socks. I'm not walking on ranch chips.
Are they terrified by my appearance?
They're pretty scared in general. Clearly they've seen a lot of shit.
So you're saying that this a human-sized thing of this? Fuck, where'd it go? Did not scare them.
They're pretty scared. I'm not saying they're not scared, but they're so scared of everything that's going on that it's like you can't make them more scared than they already are.
Fear builds character.
As for Wallace, give me a D6 to see if you find socks.
A 4.
All right. So you find socks, but there's a problem with them. What is the problem?
They smell really bad. They're oversized and they go all the way up past my knee.
That makes sense for giant socks.
Yeah.
But I'm not walking on ranch chips in my bare feet, so
I turn and see Wallace. Wow, Wallace. Pants. They could probably use a washing though. Are those your gym pants?
no, but I've been known to work out.
I can tell. You look like you have a six-pack. I see the empty rings off to your side.
So do you think the children are tied up?
Yeah, they're all bound
With what?
and gagged. Only one of them has managed to get the gag off their mouths.
Bound in what? Chains, rope?
Rope.
Okay. Is the rope like only attached to them?
Yeah.
Like, is it? Okay. It's not like tethered to
they're
the
not
wall.
like it's not like a web or anything like that.
Okay. All right.
They're not connected to anything.
Well,
They're just kind of like they're in this room where they're just kind of lined against the walls, like bound.
Mhm.
And at the end of the room, like it's like a long hallway. Like hundreds of feet down at the end, you could see somebody that's kind of working around this stove, and there's lots of smoke.
Oh. Okay. Well, Clarence has to be a hero. He starts potato chipping his way down the hallway towards the oven.
So because of the noise that you're making with the potato chips, by the time you get probably about halfway, the person at the stove turns around, and it's the guy in the pink hat, and he looks at you and he's like, "What are you?"
And I just keep coming.
No matter, I'll take care of you. And he literally, like, with his moderately small hands, grabs one of these children and then throws them at you like a football.
Oh no. Okay. Clarence tries to turn into fucking gorilla and catch the kid.
Give me a roll. Roll 2, and you have to take the worst of the 2.
Oh, great. It's like disadvantage. I rolled a 2.
Normally, I would let you describe this, but I have a picture in my mind, and it's just too good.
All right, go.
So you try to transform into a gorilla and catch this kid. Unfortunately, because of the gem that you touched that transformed you, your powers seem to have left you stuck in this form. But you don't have time, and your reaction is still to try to catch the kid. So you end up super punching it. So you super punch the kid, and the kid basically explodes.
All over the other children.
Yeah.
Now they're all terrified of me.
Yeah.
I'm waving my little mantis shrimp arms like, no, it was an accident.
Whoa.
What is everyone else doing?
Okay, I'm doing squat thrust. I do a few squat thrusts and I do some jumping jacks. See, Gary, I taught Jack LaLanne everything he knew.
Tell. You should be catching children. Miss. I bet he would. He doesn't know what he's doing. Squat thrusts. Moves.
Gary, who are you talking to?
Well, that's Thrax. The 2-inch dinosaur. Thrax, he's been on my shoulder this whole time.
That's what I feared. The pink eye has gotten worse.
There's something else that's gotten worse too. And then Thrax to leave, and he attempts to start haunting Wallace.
Roll a d6. What? Can't hear you.
A 3.
A 3.
Okay. So 3 is.
I'll pull it up.
Oh, that's a fail, but something goes right. So the thing that Wallace doesn't get haunted, but something else goes well for whatever you're trying to attempt.
Wallace. So Thrax darts towards Wallace, and he just sidesteps just in time. Like he lifts his leg, and Thrax just kind of runs past.
So those squat thrusts.
The squat thrusts, yeah. He jumps at Wallace, and he just squats, and like Wallace jumps right, Thrax jumps right over him, and he instead lands on Clarence.
On me?
Yeah. Ah, yes, a new host. Tell me, do you?
Holy shit! It's Brennan. Oh my god, he sounds like Smurf.
You sound like a chipmunk. No, we can't understand you. You sound like a
Wow,
chipmunk.
that is awful.
You sound like a synthesized chipmunk.
I can't wait for Brendan to watch this part of the video.
I'd rather watch the chipmunk movies than listen. No offense, Brendan. But rejoin.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ. All right, so now Clarence is haunted. He's just slaughtered an innocent child in his massive super punch. We've lost Dustin.
Damn it.
What is going on?
I don't know. This is weird.
It's obviously the Chi-Coms.
We're so close to the end. I can feel it. We found the children. We found the mastermind. We got the
How about now?
Batmobile. Yeah, you sound way better now.
Sick. Sorry,
I
guys.
also dropped. I think there was like something going on.
Dude, Brennan, you're like 3 hours late.
Yeah, I had to print off 39 pages of references and essay. It was not fun. Sorry about that. I got
No
totally
worries.
wrecked this week. It's been like the worst week for me.
Sorry to hear that, man. Well,
Yeah.
we didn't move ahead without you, so we just did like kind of a pickup game.
Sick. Where you guys at? What are you guys doing?
You'll find out. Just
All right.
sit back and watch.
Hell yeah.
Would somebody like to recap for Brendan? What we've done?
I don't even know if I'm good to be honest.
Well, howdy there. I'm Clarence.
The current situation.
I'm Clarence. I'm the wide-eyed farm boy who can transform into any animal sometimes. Then we have Mr. Wallace Jones. He's my private investigator. I did not hire him, but he works for me. And he's going to write a story about my heroism and how I murdered 2 children. And then we have Mr. Gregarious Gary, and he is he's very gregarious. It's all in the name with Mr. Gary. He has a few surprises up his sleeve, like his posse, not pussy, posse, and and he what else does he do? Well, he projectile vomits at the speed of sound.
He's got pink eye.
He also has pink eye because dinosaurs attacked us, and one of his posse disemboweled the dinosaur all over his face. So he got pink eye from that. And what we're doing right now is we are saving the children, minus the 2 that I murdered, but we are saving the rest of the children from the pink-hatted Riddler who is cooking and eating the children. Currently, I am a mantis shrimp that can punch at the speed of light or sound or some bullshit and can cause supernovas with my punches. That's how I murdered one of the children. Anyway, let's not talk about the murdered children anymore. So we are right now confronting the evildoer, and Mr. Wallace is doing squats. Mr. Gregarious Gregory, he was haunted by a dinosaur spirit that he tossed onto me. So now I am currently a mantis shrimp haunted by a dinosaur spirit with the blood of children covering me. And Mr. Wallace is wearing giant sweaty socks from an actual giant that cover his entire bottom half. And he is doing squats to prove that he works out with Greg. And also he is taking a lot of notes. I think
That giant was an East German swimmer named Gertrude.
Oh, and he also hates commies, hates the Chinese and the Russians. So that is the current situation.
No, he hasn't.
I'm literally, my eyes are tearing up.
What the fuck? God.
You know, it all made sense while we were playing, but
I bet.
You makes it sound a little crazy.
I blame it on the
What the
chemtrails. You damn hippie kids.
Wallace, I get me one of those nice pants. They look like they add +10 to your charisma. I could go for that. My charisma's rather low. That's why I'm gregarious Gary.
You just stay back over there with your pink eye.
I imagine at this point the pink eye has grown to such a state that it's like it's starting to engulf my face. So like it started in the eye, but now it's like at this point it's like covering half my face.
Oh yeah,
basically,
it's throbbing with a life of its own. It has its own pulse,
So what
separate from
basically
yours.
you don't have pink eye. You have some foreign disease that no one's ever heard of. It's like destroying your face.
At exactly
Yeah,
30
super
seconds,
pink eye.
it projectile
Right.
at 30-second intervals. It projects pus at the speed of sound.
It's a biological weapon, straight out of Hanoi.
So the guy in the pink hat is like, enough of this, and all of a sudden he starts transforming, and his face gets real messed up, and then it shifts down, like his head kind of like swims through his body almost until it's where his crotch is, and then he has 4 arms, and they all are like comically big except for the hands. The hands remain small.
Does this guy have a toupee under that hat?
He might. You'll have to find out later. Also, he has like spines that pop out all over his skin.
Awesome. I move in for the kill. I keep going towards him. I have to be a hero.
All right. Give me a d6.
All right. I rolled a 5. Yay!
All right. So describe what you do.
I'm mantis shrimp my way over to him while all the children scream at me, and I pow, deliver a pistol punch.
Good old
All right.
1
So
2.
the punch makes contact with one of his very small hands, which then explodes, and there's like a cascading explosion that goes all the way up his arm to the shoulder, and then blood just spurts all across you and the children cry because they're covered in blood now.
Well, some of them cheer. Some of them cheer. Let's say some of them cheer.
I spent most of my childhood covered in blood. What's the problem?
But then this dude, he uses his other 2 arms to like swipe at you at your underlegs to rip them out of your body.
Oh God.
And then also follows that up with a shoulder jab, like just trying to like tackle you almost right in your thorax area. So give me a d6 roll.
All right.
See how well you defend that.
I rolled a 4.
All right, so you're able to succeed for the most part, but something goes wrong. Describe it.
Okay. Somehow he misses my legs, even though I'm not very dexterous as a pistol shrimp or whatever the fuck, mantis shrimp. But he's successful with the shoulder tackle, and he knocks me into a row of children, and I crush them. So now I've killed like 5 children.
So what does everyone else do as they watch this going on between this 4-armed, tiny-handed dude with a face in his crotch fighting human-sized mantis shrimp, crushing children?
This obviously is a problem. I reach into my pocket, and pull out the glass eye that Sammy Davis gave me, and I put it in my revolver
What?
and shoot it at this creature.
Give me a D6.
Glass eye.
4.
All right, so you succeed, but something goes wrong. What happens?
It ends up going right through him and making a hole, and then it lands on the ground, and he eats it. I only had one of
What
those.
happens? What's
Damn it.
that?
I only had one of those glass eyes.
So what happens after he eats it? Does it come back out through the hole?
He starts to talk with the swagger, baby.
Tiger. Cool. I think
What's
my
gregarious Gary
boss-
gonna do?
Well, gregarious Gary's usually against violence in most of his
What? You killed a giant with your vomit.
You went and cut off the head of a dinosaur after it had
Yeah.
died because
Yeah.
you summoned your posse to kill them.
That's not violence. That's retribution, and that's different. So, I guess I could take revenge on this creature for the children. And I grab my hand, my right hand grabs my left hand and pulls it off, and it reveals left arm pops off, and it disconnects the elbow, and I got 2 nunchucks that are now created out of my left arm, and I'm flipping them around with my right hand, and I go for the stinging blow.
All right, give me a D6.
It's a 3.
All right, so you
No.
fail, but something goes well. So describe what goes wrong and what unexpectedly goes right.
It turns out that arm chucks are not the best or the most effective weapons. So any attacks with them don't cause any damage, but they do cause riotous fits of laughter. Silly it is.
So this transformed, crotch-faced, pink-headed, four-armed, little-handed man with spikes coming out just starts chuckling at this guy that has taken off his arm and used his arm as an arm chuck.
I need gopher chucks.
So in the end, the laughter is so riotous that his heart actually pops.
No.
And he's like, ah! And he falls.
Oh.
I make a note of it.
I was ready to turn into a honey badger. Fuck him up. All right. Clarence is covered in the blood of children. This giant mantis shrimp, and he transforms back into Clarence. And now he's a naked, skinny farm boy covered in the blood of children.
I walk back into the the room of the dead East German swimmer and get one of those one piece. You can wear this.
One of the socks, you mean?
No, one of those one pieces they used to swim in.
Okay. What? Well, oh,
All
gee,
right.
thanks, Mr. Wallace.
Cover up. You might traumatize these kids. Even though they're covered in blood and you killed a couple of them.
Well, I'm awfully sorry, children. I just wanted to be a hero.
Well, you are, goddammit.
I am?
Yep. I'm going to make you an astronaut and send your ass into space.
Wowee!
All right,
Wow.
so each of you guys give a short epilogue for your characters.
Okay. Can I go first?
Yes.
So they leave they actually I'll leave that up to everyone else. But Clarence, once he's out back in the streets in the light of day, several of the children come forward as he murdered unbeknowingly and on accident, but he still murdered several of their brothers and sisters, and they report him to the authorities. Clarence thinks that the police are only approaching him to give him a medal of honor and gratitude. So he sees the handcuffs and also doesn't know what handcuffs are and gladly sticks his hands out like, yeah, I'll take the reward now. And he sits in the jail cell to this day waiting for his reward. He's happy for the free food.
That slop ain't gonna slop itself.
All right, Wallace or Gary.
So, finding out that Clarence has been locked away in jail by obviously a communist plot because he's a goddamn hero.
Yeah, fight
I
for
go
me to
in.
get out of jail. Yeah.
I'm able to get him out on bail. And then we get in my 54 Pontiac and make our way to Canada. We live out the rest of our days among the Eskimos.
What? Someone's like loud. I can it's Dustin, I think. I can hear all these echoes.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh no.
No, that's the pink guy.
All right, well,
When you come in,
Dustin, let us know what Gary is doing in his epilogue.
Gary, Gregarious Gary, gazes gladly upon the death all he has seen. Decidedly a pacifist. He's not against retribution, as you so found out. Deciding that life was really hard with living with just a right arm. Spent the next couple years crafting a finely tuned metal replacement. Looks nothing more than like a couple pipes that have been welded together rather crudely. The pink eye has grown and encompassed his entire head. And after
It's now called Pinkhead.
years, it completely separated from his body and created an alter clone, a doppelganger, if you will. they spend the remainder of their days hunting each other. One always getting a leg up on the other when the other least expects it. And occasionally they run into Wallace, but it's few and far between.
One note. When I'm in my igloo, I'm trying to figure out who was the source of that song that started this whole thing. I think it was Three Brothers.
I want to add something too. Clarence is grateful to Wallace for getting him out of prison, but then while they're in Canada with the Eskimos, he's like, I really appreciate it, Mr. Jones, but I really should get back to Mom and Pa on the farm. And he goes back home, and his dad realizes that he can turn into different farm animals and just uses him for free labor. He's like, Clarence, turn into a goddamn horse and pull the hoe. And then Clarence is like, yeah, Pa. Turns into a horse, starts pulling shit. Clarence, I need some milk. Okay, Pa. It really hurts when you milk me, though. I don't goddamn care. It tastes delicious. So he turns into a cow and gets milked by his dad.
The end.
The end.
Informative.
That was great. I love that. That was the most fun I've ever had in one of these sessions. Oh my god. What's your name again? Brennan? Yeah. You need to rewatch this thing so that you can get the context behind images such as this.
What the fuck?
And images like this. So make sure you watch the video. Oh my god.
All right, I'll go back. That's definitely it. Yeah, it looked good. It looked like fun.
Holy shit.
That was awesome, guys. Thank you so much for that.
That was amazing. Yeah, thank you. That was fun.
I haven't done that before.
I was just using the story dice, and I was letting it lead me where it went.
Oh, well, it went. It went.
Everything that happened out of my mouth was represented in those dice. Everything.
Wait, did we ever find out if he had a toupee? Was he supposed to be Donald Trump? Is that why you kept saying the hands thing?
Yes, it was
Okay.
Donald Trump.
Okay. That's hilarious.
Anna, that was an amazing recap, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, that was great.
Hands down, the best recap I've ever heard of any session.
Well, I'm sure Clarence would get old after a while, so I'm glad he's just a one and done. He'll live on in our hearts. Being milked by his dad.
I'm sharing the link to this video to the NAG because other people need to see this.
Just tell him to skip to when Brennan joins. They can all be taken off guard.
No, I'm gonna mark that out. Yes. And then it's up to them if they want to actually watch through it.
Yeah, the end part was so good.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun. I am sad that we didn't get to do our final battle though. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sorry about that. My bad.
No,
No
you're
worries.
good, dude.
No big deal.
So yeah, so while we're all here, let's try and talk about scheduling when everybody is sure they're going to be available to be able to get this done.
Definitely can do Thursday. Monday, Tuesdays are out for me though, so that means your Sunday and your Monday. But
All right, so
I'm on uni break now after handing in this essay, so yeah, I'm free every other day other than Monday and Tuesday.
okay.
Okay.
So then, if we were to pick this up next week at 8:00 Central Time, Wednesday night for us, so that'd be it's Thursday. What time for you?
11 a.m.
Okay. So you're good at that time?
Yes, absolutely certain I'll be good for that. Yeah.
Okay. Does that work for everyone else?
Works for me. I originally asked for it to be moved because I was in school at the time, and it was tough to have Wednesday night games, but I'm not in school anymore, so I'm more flexible.
Okay. And Anu and Peter, you're good at that time next week?
What was it again? Next week?
Wednesday at 8?
Yep. I think it should be good.
Yeah, I should be good. It might be 15 minutes in there, but
So would it be easier to do 8:30 then? Because I know most people were late today by 30 minutes anyways.
yeah, 8:30 I would say that it would be a lot better.
Okay.
I'll probably eat my words.
Better.
All right, we'll shoot for that then.
Okay.
That'll give me time to get to the gym beforehand and stuff too.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right. So then, oh, I can't wait. What did you send us, Anu?
Have you ever seen the True Facts videos?
Yes. This is amazing.
There's one about the mantis shrimp.
I definitely recommend that video. But so actually this kind of works out because there's Brennan and Peter now have time to finish up their nightmares. And so also from the nightmares there's potential to get rewards as well. Both Elmorn and Martha have gotten some kind of boon because of their nightmares being particularly interesting and creative.
Can they give us a little bit of a sneak peek on what's been going on in their nightmares? Come on.
Not yet.
Something.
Not yet. So that's something that I mentioned while you were before you got here, Brendan. Is that once we finish up with this particular story arc, I'm going to create like an edit and kind of make a PDF of all the things that have been going on behind the scenes, because there's been the nightmares, and then there's been some things that you guys have been doing just through email stuff that not everybody is privy to. Some things will remain hidden because they're not meant to be shared with the entire party yet, but I do want people to kind of have an idea of the things that aren't like critical secrets of what people have been up to, kind of striking out on their own, not only to get a sense of the story and what's been going on, because it is actually really cool, some of the things that have been happening, but also to give people some ideas of what they can do like through email in between sessions when you have some ideas. So yeah, I'm excited to be able to share that with everybody.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'll give you, Brendan, I'll give you a sneak peek about, let's see, Marthal got pink eye. And, Elmorn is really a druid.
This was super fun, guys. I'm glad that we got to just kind of let loose like this.
Well, when Anu did that southern accent, I was like, oh, I should have. I was so tempted to do one too. I was like, oh man, I should have done it.
It'd be like Dumb and Dumber. It would be great.
There's always
There'll be other
next time.
times.
I'm glad, Hawk, that you picked up the reference.
Yes. No, the whole time you're talking, I'm like, just call me Mr. Butterfingers. Boy, is my face red. One of the greatest movies ever. I actually rented that movie off of YouTube specifically so I could show it to Lisa.
And her reaction was, I don't get it.
Yeah, meanwhile, I'm literally laughing to the point where I can't breathe. Especially around the point with the one dude's like World of Animals where he's sticking turtles to the ceiling because they're nature's suction cups and he's trying to teach poodles to fly. Oh my god, it's so amazing. Not to mention the invention of the Twinkie Wiener sandwich.
Which isn't as good as it is said to be.
Oh no, it's not. So, Dustin, there was a time when I actually stayed with Meyer for a couple of months. Josh Meyer.
Yeah.
Which is a terrible living situation because the both of us were just at that time. I don't know how we didn't like just destroy each other. But we decided one day that we were going to make Twinkie Wiener sandwiches. Ate one, and neither of us could decide if we liked it, so we had to eat a second one, and then immediately started projectile vomiting. So for those of you who have not seen UHF, a Twinkie Wiener sandwich is when you take a Twinkie, you cut it like a bun, you put a hot dog in it, and then cover it in Cheese Whiz.
Oh, gross.
Okay.
Have a night.
Oh, yeah, cool. That's messed up.
It's strangely, so the first one, I couldn't decide if I liked it or not because those tastes, the sweetness of the Twinkie, the meatiness of the hot dog, and the saltiness of the Cheese Whiz, they all somehow manage to cancel each other out, so you don't really taste anything until later. It's like a slow-moving train. You can stand on the tracks and you can appreciate the train, but eventually it's going to hit you, and it's not going to be pretty.
It's a good analogy.
Yeah. But anyways, I gotta drop off. But
Yeah, I had to get going too.
I'll see you guys. See you guys next week.
All right.
Yup.
Hell yeah.
Take care, everyone.
All right.
See ya.